Ivan. Hello. Hello. Okay, guys, I am Rohit from What After College, and I am like counselor here, and I am going to like tell you about what about this IoT webinar and everything, right? So we are and the motive of this free webinar is to give you some knowledge about the insight about what IoT is, what is its future, and हम कहाँ पे इसको use कर सकते हैं, right? So the trainer is a very he's very good trainer in IoT, and he will let you know everything about IoT and embedded system. So Saksham, over to you, and you can share your experiences and the insight about IoT.
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, what is IoT? The first question arises in our mind whenever we talk about IoT, and whenever we work on something like this. Whenever we get a thing, like whenever we get a word IoT, so the first question comes to our mind is what is IoT? So the full form, as it says, Internet of Things. Let us break it down in words. Internet, we all know what is internet. Like internet is basically when we uh, connect to different systems, connect different devices or something like that. So basically a web of interconnected things, interconnected devices, and obviously humans also. For example, right now I am streaming my video over the internet, and anyone having the access or link can see that. So as soon as we are working on Internet of Things, the like Internet of Humans, we have changed our perception from Internet of Humans to Internet of Things. So what is things over here? Things defines things as like, if we go by AWS or any cloud platform, things are defined as the nodes or a sensor uh, port connection node, or a delivering node like a motor or something, or sensor. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys. Just give me a second. Yeah. Can you see? Can you guys see the IoT one? Okay. So, as I told you, what is IoT? IoT is basically when we connect different nodes to collect data and send data autonomously over the internet using a cloud. The whole system is called IoT. How did we get there? So, if we want to go in a history of IoT, the first IoT based system was created in 1970s by someone at CMU, Carnegie Mellon University. They were contracted by Coca-Cola to create a system in for dispense cold drink. We all know what cold drink dispensers are. This mobile dispensers, जो इसमें McDonald's वगैरह में लगे होते हैं. We push a button and we get a cold drink. Okay, I'm not visible. Malka, I guess I am visible, and my screen is also visible. Okay, so as soon as they created a system, there was an issue that they don't have any idea about the quantity that is there in the machine. Like for example, let's say they refilled it in the morning, and due to some crowd and due to some issue, the cold drink is like the level of cold drink is declined to 0% or 10% at 10, 12 or 1, let's say. Like let's have an idea about this. So what will happen? Like a rest of like whole rest of the day there will be no cold drink in that. खाली पड़ा है यार वो. तो उनका वो नोट तो खराब हो गया, उनका वो मशीन तो लगाने का वहां पे सारा का सारा सिस्टम ही खराब हो गया. So someone came up with the idea to have a pressure plate in the bottom of a cylinder or a back container which have the cold drink, and transmit that data to a lab. That was the first time when we created a IoT based system in which a machine was talking to a machine. Okay, so I guess I am clear that IoT is basically when machines talk to machines. Internet, a normal internet network, is when human talks to human talks to machine, and so on. IoT is when machine talks to machine. So if we want to make a normal basic architecture of IoT, we'll create 3 nodes. Wait a second. One, this is sensor node or receiving end. Guys, I'm really very sorry. My pen just broke, so I'm using my touchpad. So it may be not was clear now, shayad. Then there's cloud. Then there is a receiving end. I'm just gonna write RE over here. It's tough. Okay. So whenever we are working on an IoT system, we have to consider these 3 systems. The first is our wait a second. Let me change the ink. Yeah, the first is our sensor system. So what is sensor system or a sender end? This is basically a part in which we collect the data, we send that particular data to cloud. Now initially we used cloud just to have to access that data at receiving end. Okay, but right now these days we are using cloud to also have a analytical thinking and analytical operations on that particular data, so that receiving end can be compromised or can be worked. Like for example, initially if I have to make a system, my receiving end should have a greater processing power, like a higher processing power, because cloud is just transmitting the data. But these days, due to AWS and technology advancement in cloud computing, we can have a normal Arduino or a Raspberry Pi over receiving end. I can just send yes or no over there. Like from cloud, I can just send a small command yes or no, because I have analytical operations or any machine learning based or intelligence based operation over cloud. Initially we didn't have this privilege, so we used to have, like we used to send data from sensor end or receiving end to cloud, then to this receiving end or a node end. In that case, we always, there was an issue. Like, can you guys think that I told you guys that the first system was created in 1970s. Still we are not using IoT to its extent. It's been around 50 years or 45 years, and we are not using IoT to its extent. The only reason is we didn't have the cloud privilege, the privilege to have a cloud analytics earlier. We got this privilege basically to public privilege in 2015 around when AWS was launched, and now we have GCP also, we have Blink, we have a lot of things. Okay, so now we can have a small microcontroller based development board or a microcontroller based system on a receiving end, and it will work just fine. Initially we used to have a small computer over here, like these days we have Raspberry Pi for that. But also, like a Raspberry Pi was launched in 2015, so before that we didn't have that privilege also. Okay, getting my point, like why we haven't came so far in the field of IoT. But right now, like in 2020, the field of IoT is being like booming. Everyone wants their systems to be connected. For example, I guess a lot of you have been using smartwatch. फिटबिट कितने लोगों ने यूज किया है यहाँ पे? फिटबिट बहुत सारे लोगों ने यूज किया होगा यहाँ पे. What Fitbit does? Fitbit collects the data, send it to your mobile. Your mobile send that particular data to its cloud platform, and over their cloud platform, all the analytical processing is done, and then it gives out a response. Like I still remember. Wait, let me check. Uh, okay, I took 7,000 steps yesterday, and I am in top 20% और in my city. तो बेसिकली दिल्ली में लोग नहीं चल रहे हैं जो फिटबिट पहनते हैं. एटलीस्ट मेरे वाला दिखा रहा है कि 7,000 किलोमीटर 7,000 स्टेप्स में चला हूँ. 7,227 टू बी प्रिसाइज. Getting my point. Right now, these days we are connected to its extent, and we are working to have our industries connected to our systems. It stores the continuous data. Yes, Rahul, it stores that. We also have Google Fit. The Google Fit doesn't even require you to have a band or something like that. Google Fit collects your data based upon your movement. It even collects my data whenever I am walking in my room. How? Okay, does anyone have any idea how Google collect the data if you're walking in your room? I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes for that. If you want to Google that, you can. Okay, you guys have 2 minutes. It's for 13 right now. I'll ask you again on at 15. You can use Google. You can use any resources you want to. But can you tell me how Google collects the data when you are walking even in your room? अंजल, हम कंपैरिजन तो कर ही नहीं रहे ना कि एप्पल हेल्थ बेटर है या कौन सा. Sir, by vibrations of mobile phone. Okay. Yes, exactly. Okay, so he said, sir, by vibration of the mobile phone and by a device gyro sensor. Basically, it uses gyro sensor. It have a machine learning based algorithm with readily I should say, like always keep on connecting the data, and as soon as it uh, captures us walking, like it have particular data for. Okay, let me give you example. आप एक दिन आप initially जब phone लेते हो वो इतना अच्छा नहीं देता डेटा, बट एज सुन एज थोड़ा सा टाइम हो जाता है उस फोन को, लाइक 3 से 4 या 5-10 दिन, वो डेटा कलेक्ट करके आपका फाइनलाइज करता है कि आप जो चलते हो आप इस तरीके से चलते हो। अगर आपकी जेब में फोन है तो वो बता देगा कि आप चल रहे हो इस टाइम पे। ओके, getting my point? So our phone is at sensor end. Wait a second. Our phone is at sensor end. It sends all the data to cloud. It have analytical operation on that particular data, and that data is sent to a receiving end, that is actually our phone in this case. Okay, so IoT examples. What do you think? Where are we using IoT other than Fitbit and all? What? Okay. How many of you have used Zomato or Swiggy? I guess almost everyone. Vending machine, RFID door locks. No. Okay. Someone said RFID door locks. Just give me a second. Yeah, here it is. Okay, Rahul Singh said RFID door locks. Rahul, when we are using RFID, it's a localized system. RFID module is connected to a system, to a microcontroller that is basically used to counter that particular. For example, you have a card, it has a particular number or it has a particular identity that is being decoded to that particular module. For example, I don't have anything right now with me. My laptop have a RFID sensor. If I swap my metro card or my office ID card over there, it generates a particular, it gives out a particular ID, that is my RFID. Your whenever we are working on a lock, or when we are talking about the lock, so at that point we are talking about a localized system. It is not sending data to any other platform or any other cloud system. Same with the vending machine, the beast said, vending machine, smart barcode readers, lift, gas leakage detection system. Yes, event reminder. Yes, it uses Alexa. Yes, alarm clocks. There was a comment from someone that okay, okay, there was a comment from someone which said, oh, I don't know, a gas leakage detection system. It depends. If that system is sending a message to, let's say, fire department or a police station, then it's a IoT system. Otherwise it's a localized system, nothing else. Okay. Okay, Rezo app, according to mood they play songs. Yes. Smart traffic light. Yeah, a lot of them. So today, in this webinar, we will be talking about the sensor end, the sending end. Okay, so we'll be learning a little about Arduino. Okay, I have some things about Arduino over here. Okay, First of all, what is Arduino? What is Arduino? Abhijit Pandey. Abhijit, what can we make using IoT? Like your question is not clear. Okay. Okay. How many of you does know about Arduino? What is Arduino? Whoever is saying Uno, Uno is just a type of Arduino. Microprocessor, no. Arduino is a open source electronic platform. ये गूगल से टिपा है अक्षय जैन ने. ये गूगल का आंसर है. We can add IoT, increase electric conference, open source electronic platform. Yes. Okay. So what is Arduino basically? Arduino is a development board that is basically used for instant prototyping. For example, let's say someone is working. Sorry, it's a microcontroller based processing system. Development board. For example, you have to make something using a microcontroller. We'll come to what is microcontroller and microprocessors. What's the difference between them? Just a second after that. So we cannot have a system. We cannot have a system with directly with a microcontroller. We have to have a system because whenever we are in a instant prototyping stage, we obviously इनिशियली जब भी कोई काम करेगा, कोई भी बंदा कुछ भी काम करेगा, वो सारी चीज परफेक्ट नहीं कर सकता. So we have a system to create a instant prototyping that is called Arduino, in which we add all the sensors, we add all the output actuators, all the motors and all. We can add everything over there, but we should have a system. For a proof of concept, we can use Arduino. It's a development board. Okay. Then what is microcontroller and microprocessor? A basic system, a basic microcontroller is consisting of microprocessor, GPIO pins, RAM, ADC, buffer, IO buses, clock, ROM. Okay, so we are going to learn about this now. The first thing is microprocessor. What is microprocessor? So basically, microprocessor is a brain of a microcontroller. Getting my point? It computes. It's a computation unit for everything. It do all the maths and everything in microprocessor. Okay. Then there's GPIO pins. Full form goes for general purpose input output pins. Okay. General purpose input output pins. I don't have. Just a second, guys. Okay, yes. Just a second, guys. Okay, I don't think it's working fine. Okay, so the first thing is microprocessor. Microprocessor is basically my math or my computation unit. Then there's GPIO pins. GPIO pins is short form for general purpose input output pins. These are the pins in which we give a input or a output. For example, if I'm talking about Arduino, this is the pin in which I connect my LED for a output as in my reference. Here reference is very important. If we are talking about input over here, the input is basically a my side of output. Okay, the as soon as the reference is changed, if we are talking about the Arduino reference, the LED is output. Sorry. Sorry, LED is output, and the same with me. Then there's buffer. Anyone have any idea what is buffer? Anyone have any idea what is the buffer? Buffer is basically whenever we run a system, it creates a different memory allocation. That particular memory is called buffer. Then there's ADC, analog to digital converter. Now, what is analog to digital converter? Analog to digital converter means whenever we are working on a system that uses a microcontroller, it have a system with every aspect of that system is digital, not analog. But we have certain sensor that works on an analog mode. So we use analog to digital converter for those particular system. And what we do, we create a system in which we give a analog input to a microcontroller. The ADC part changes the analog value to a digital value. Then that ADC sends the value to microprocessor. Microprocessor gives out the value in digital form. Then there is DAC, digital to analog converter, that gives out the value to system, to us as an output. Okay. Then there is RAM. We all know what is RAM, random access memory. I don't think I should explain this. Then there are IO buses, input output buses. So whenever we give a input or output at GPI, we want to have a input or output at GPIO pins. The data collected from input from GPIO pins is transported to microprocessor using IO buses, and the data collected from microprocessor is transported to GPIO pins via IO buses. Then ROM, read-only memory, obviously a normal small memory. Then there is clock. Clock is basically a frequency-based system which is used to have any time-based operation. Any time-based operation is done using this particular part called clock. Okay, getting my point? Okay, then let's do one thing. Let's learn something. Let's learn to code over Arduino. Okay, just give me a second. It's taking a lot of time. uh, now I'm gonna share my screen to you guys. Application window, Arduino. So this is another sketch. Okay. Stop screen, share screen. Okay. So this is basically Dino IDE, integrated development environment. Over here we have everything to program any Arduino at any time. So we have different tools and different Arduino boards over here, like Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, Arduino, all the types of Arduino basically. Okay, so why do we need this? Because like sorry, whenever we are working on something like on a hardware, we use a different kind of language that is called VLSI, very large scale integration language, or VHDL. Okay, so what is VHDL? VHDL is basically very high speed integrated development, integrated hardware description language. Okay, hardware description language, that is basically sorry, yeah, hardware description language. So not visible clearly. uh, which means just wait a second, let me check. Okay, I guess now it will be more clear. I'm gonna just increase the font size. Is it clear now? Is it visible? Is it visible to everyone? I've increased the font size. Ravi, this is Arduino IDE. Okay, so whenever we are working on a system, so we use VHDL. We cannot write VHDL either without any hardware, hardware system. So over here we use Arduino IDE to program our Arduino microcontroller. Sorry. Okay. So over here we have two systems: void setup and void loop. We'll come back to it. Okay, we'll start with this actually. First is void setup. As the name suggests, setup. Little more font size. Okay, guys, just give me a second. Reference. Now it's okay. Okay. So first thing is void setup. What is void setup? As the name suggests, setup. Like अगर नॉर्मली हिंदी में बात करें तो इट्स लाइक सेटअप. हमें कोई भी हम हार्डवेयर पहले यूज करने से पहले हम उसके बारे में अपने सिस्टम को हमें बताना पड़ता है. क्या बताना है? सो वॉइड सेटअप में हमारे 3 कमेंट्स जाते हैं. 2 कमेंट्स बेसिकली, 2 फंक्शंस, पिन मोड और सीरियल डॉट बिगिन. 2 functions हैं. I'm gonna explain both of them to you. Just give me a second. The first is pin mode. Just give me a second. The first is pin mode. Pin mode is used to check or to initialize the pins as input or output. Okay, let's say I have 12th pin in Arduino and I want to create it as to initialize this as a output, and I have a, let's say, 15th or 10th pin, and I want to initialize it as a input. Over here, whenever we write input and output, we are giving it as of our reference. Like if I want an output at 12, I'm gonna write it as output. If I'm gonna write input at give a input at 10, I'm gonna write input over 10. Okay, so this is how pin mode works. Then comes serial.begin. Serial in Arduino, whenever we have the word serial, it means communication. Whenever, like whenever we are using a code, HDL and other embedded C or any other programming language. Anup, I'm gonna answer this in a while. Okay. Okay, Anup, I'm gonna answer this in a while. I'm gonna embed this question over here so that I don't forget about this. Whenever we are working in Arduino, we have a serial function anywhere. It purely translates to communication, nothing else. As soon as you see a serial, you can say yeah, ये तो communication के लिए. अब communication, जब हमारे दो systems के बीच में communication आता है, whether it's a sensor of any kind or it's just two different Arduinos, we have to make sure that the serial.begin or the baud rate is same in both the systems. I have wrote 9600 over here. We have different option for that. We have 1,15,200, 57,600, 2,56,000, 56,000, and so on. We have these options for baud rate. Okay, so whenever we are working in a system, we have to make sure okay, we have to make sure that our serial.begin, the baud rate is same. Now comes the question, sir, what is baud rate? I'm gonna comment it over here. Baud rate, बहुत अगर हम एक इजी तरीके से baud rate को समझना चाहते हैं तो baud rate is basically number of data, number of bytes sent per second from a transmission end, and number of bytes received per second from a receiving end. Okay, for example, let's say a person starts to, like अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं बहुत तेज बोलना शुरू कर दूँ कोई चीज को. अभी जो मेरा पहले था let's say 50 वर्ड्स पर सेकेंड था, है ना, मैं एकदम से उसको 150 कर दूँ. आई एम डैम श्योर कि तुम लोगों को काफी देर तक वो समझ नहीं आएगी अनलेस अंटिल तुम्हारा माइंड उस चीज पे एकदम से कैप्चर करे. ऐसा होता है जैसे हम लोग कभी YouTube की वीडियो देख रहे होते हैं, अगर मैं YouTube की वीडियो की स्पीड डबल कर दूं, इट टेक्स अ व्हाइल, समवॉट लाइक 10-20 सेकंड्स टू गेट आवर माइंड ओवर देयर कि उस चीज को समझना शुरू कर दें. हमारा माइंड काफी इंटेलिजेंट है, काफी इवॉल्व्ड है. एक माइक्रो कंट्रोलर इतना इवॉल्व्ड कभी नहीं होता है. So we have to make sure that the serial.begin or the baud rate is equal in both the systems, receiving end and the transmission end. Okay. Then comes the void loop. Void loop is that part of the code which we want to run repeatedly, which we want to run again and again. So we have a lot of function over that, but uh, basically, or I should say on a very 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 low level, we have four, so four function over here. One is digital write, digital read, analog write, wait a second. Analog write and analog read. So digital write is basically when Arduino gives out the output as 1 or 0, either on or off. Same goes on with the digital read. Whenever when it takes a input in 1 or 0, like a switch, either it's on, either it's off. There's no intermediate state in that. Either it's 1 or either it's 0. No fuzzy system is there. Do you guys understand fuzzy systems? Fuzzy system is basically when we have intermediate stages. Okay, so in digital systems we never have a fuzzy states. Then comes the analog write. Analog write have a fuzzy state from 0 to 255. Whenever we want to give an output from 0 to 255, we use analog write, and same goes on with analog read. We have analog read whenever we want to take an input in such a form. For example, I have a potentiometer. I am rotating the knob of it. It gives us different values at every single step. So we use analog read over there. Okay. We are gonna use digital write for a basic kind of a hello world question, hello world program for Arduino. That is, uh, just observe over here, we gave a 12 as output. So what we are going to do, 12 high. Okay. Now we have a different system, different function called delay. This is used to keep the program in the loop in the system in this particular stage, in its previous stage. Okay. Then if we want to blink a LED, then we have to turn it on. It should turn on for a while, then it should turn off. So digital write 12 low. Okay. Delay 1000. The delay works in a millisecond. It works in milliseconds. Okay. So this is a basic system. We can also comment these. We don't need these. This is a basic code for a blinking of LED. Okay. Now I'm gonna run a simulator over this. Simulator for this. Okay, I think I can. Okay. It's okay. So now I can answer this question. Okay, so what is the difference between HDL and other embedded languages, embedded C and other programming languages? Okay, so HDL is basically hardware description language. In this, we write everything as a hardware in a and an OR gate system. Embedded C, when we are working in embedded C is a totally different language. In this, we use predefined libraries or we create our libraries to work on that. And other programming languages like Python are low, high level languages. We cannot use these languages to uh, I should say to program our microcontrollers and microprocessors. Okay, I'm gonna share my different screen. Okay, so this is Tinkercad. Let's create a new design. Oh, sorry. I should have gone for a circuit. Create new circuit. Okay, so this is a basic Arduino Uno, and as you can see, we have a USB cable, USB operator over here. We have a power cable operator over here. We have some analog pin, which means these pins are connected to ADC of the our microcontroller. This is our microcontroller. To be particular, the microcontroller in Arduino Uno is Atmega 328P. Then we have digital pins, digital with some of them with PWM. Everyone having a wave sign before that is PWM. Then we have TXRX pins, TXRX LED. Whenever the data is sent out of Arduino, TX pin is TX pin blinks, and whenever it receives the data, RX pin blinks. Okay. We also have an inbuilt LED that is connected to a 13th pin. So as per the code we wrote, okay, I'm gonna delete this. As per the code we wrote, we blocks text. I'm gonna copy a particular line of that code. Okay. As per this code, we have initialized 12th pin as a output. Digital write 12 high, 12 will turn on. Digital write sorry, delay for 1 second. Then digital write 12 low. Then we have a delay for 1 second. Then again it will come back to this part. Okay, let's start the simulation. What happened? Void setup. Okay, void setup isn't closed. Now it is closed. Okay, as you can see, the light is turning on after every second. Then it's turning on off for a while. Then it's turning on off and on. Okay, we can also add multiple LEDs over here. Sorry. Arduino basic. Okay, as you can see, we have different systems for input and we have different systems for output. So I'm gonna add two more LEDs over here with different colors. Let's say orange, and let's say yellow. No, not yellow actually. I'm gonna make it white. Okay. So cathode will be connected to the ground pin. And the anode will be connected to the positive pins. So now I just have to write a code. So I want, as soon as my red light turns off, my white light, let's say, turns on. So digital. I'm just gonna copy this part. Control C. Digital right. 11. Sorry. High. Now it will wait for a second. Then again, digital right 11, low, 11 low. Now I want my let's say the yellow light turns on. So high, delay 1000, 10. I'm just going to delete this. 10. Okay. So 12 high, 12 low, 11 high, 11 low, 10 high, 10 low. Then I want a small delay. So that it goes over there for a after interval of 1 second. Uh, what did I do? Okay, I didn't close this. Plus, I need to have different arguments for output over here. Okay, you can see that different lights are turning on and off. Ravi, I am on Tinkercad. Guys, I wrote the code in Arduino IDE. and I simulated the code at Tinkercad. I'm gonna write the name over here, Tinkercad. Okay. Any doubts? In the same way, we can also add different sensors to it. So right now, what we did, if I add, let's say, uh, if I add some sensor to it. So right now, what we did, what we could just implied our, we just created a sensor end or a sender end. Okay, we created our sender end, and the data will be like, if I want to use it for a bigger purpose, the data will be sent to some other cloud platform, from where it will be retrieved by a by actually, wait a second, this is not code, this is better. Okay, from where it will be retrieved from by a receiver, and then we will be having a total Arduino based system. Okay. Okay, so now we have Rohit sir with us. He's going to tell you something about the course and all. Over to you, Rohit sir.
Thank you, Shaksham sir. Guys, hope you like that the 1 hour free training about IoT. इसमें हम लोग ज़्यादा तो नहीं पढ़ा पाए आपको, बट वी वांट कि अगर आप हमारा जो पेड वर्जन है, ओके, if you can join that IoT training, तो trust me, you'll learn everything new and many things about IoT, right? So if you guys are interested, I'm giving you a short little brief of that training कि हम लोग क्या क्या आपको कराने वाले हैं, so that आप लोग अगर हो तो आप अपना मन बना सकते हो उसके अंदर, राइट? सो मैं एक पीडीएफ आपको एक पीपीटी शो कर रहा हूँ, आप उसको एक बार चेक कर लीजिए अपनी स्क्रीन पे, एंड इफ इंटरेस्टेड हम अपना नंबर भी प्रोवाइड कराएंगे, सो यू कैन प्रोसीड विद दैट. ओके, सो आपने जो यहाँ पे अभी सीखा होगा, दैट इज इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स इज इजी एंड इफेक्टिव. इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स हैज infinite application used by all companies. Our expert has in depth knowledge of internet of things, and हम लोग जब भी आपको कोई ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं, तो दैट इज always cares for the quality, right? So I'm just sharing my screen, if you can check. So agar if you want to attend our extended course, so these are the details. Okay, so the course is Internet of Things. You will get certificate of participation from WAC, which is what after college, and that will be in Internet of Things, plus HP CoC certification, that will be in embedded, right? Okay, so batch is starting from 12th of May and the mode will be online Zoom class. So we are trying कि हम लोग एक बैच में सिर्फ maximum 10 ही students को रखें, and original fees is 4,000 rupees, but if you are joining by midnight, you will get 1,000 rupees off in the fees. So it is a 10 days program. You will get 4-hour session every day. So it is a 40-hour session. So it will take around 10 to 15 days to complete the session, right? And course curriculum we will send you. So I've already told you, if you are joining that training by midnight, you will get 1,000 rupees off in the fees. And these are the sample certificates what you guys are getting after completion of the training. That is HP CoC certificate. It is an exam based certificate. So in between training, trainer will guide you ki how HP will ask the question, how you have to answer them, what will be your time strategy, what will be your overall strategy. Okay, you have to score 60% for getting that certificate. So throughout the training आपको उसका proper guidance मिलेगा, And the second one, the middle one is what after college certificate, that will be in Internet of Things, and HP certificate will be in embedded. And the last one is internship letter. You are getting internship letter as well as an complimentary. After every class, trainer will give you a task जो उन्होंने आज के दिन पढ़ाया होगा. After every class you will get a task. On that behalf, वो task complete करोगे, you will get the internship letter from our side. Okay, so the platform will be Zoom, maximum 10 students in a batch. Okay, 10 days program, 4-hour session, total 40-hour session will be there for you. Industrial expert trainer will be there to teach you everything right from the basics till advanced level of the IoT. And the benefits are, you will get LMS system, right? LMS system means you will get everything like your online class details, your recorded session, your task, your projects, everything will be available on that LMS system. Okay. It is industry updates course curriculum. It is up to the date course curriculum. We are going to teach you. Project and report, I've already told you. Recorded session, I've already told you. After every class, you will get the recorded session of that class as well, so that you can revise all those things जो आपने उस दिन online class में पढ़ा होगा, and you can ask your queries directly to the trainer in next class or through WhatsApp, anything, right? Assignments are there and small batches. I've already told you it will be 10 students in a batch. Also, these are the counselor number. I'm sharing that counselor number in the chat box. You can contact any of us and we'll help you out in the counseling part and everything, and we'll help you how to take admission, and you can ask for the discounted link and everything, right? And last but not least, you guys are waiting for the certificates as well. So this is the link where you can you have to fill that feedback form. I'm just copying it and I'm pasting it in the chat box. So guys, this is the certificate link. Go there and you can fill your feedback there about Saksham sir, about me, about the training, everything, and you will get the certificate from our side. Our backend team will uh, share certificate as soon as possible to you, and we would love if you join our paid program as well. So the fees is 4,000 rupees. If you are getting enrolled by midnight, you're getting 1,000 rupees off in the fees. Okay, and I'm sharing the counselor number as well, so that you can contact any one of us, and we'll sort all your queries. Sir, hello. Hello. Sir, hello. Ansh, certificate for the webinar you have attended, अभी जो सक्षम सर जो आप उन्होंने जो आपको पढ़ाया, उसका certificate you will get from our side. Hello, Saksham sir.
Rohit sir, am I audible?
Yes, 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 Saksham sir. At last you if you want to add something, you can add.
Yeah, just give me a second.
Guys, this is the certificate link. If you want certificate, go there, fill the feedback form, and you will get your certificate from our backend team within next Monday or by next Tuesday. You will get your certificates as well. And these are the counselors' number. You can contact them and via WhatsApp or via call, and they will guide you everything about our like coming trainings, whether it is IoT or any other subject. You can contact them. They will tell you everything about the course curriculum or about the training session, the dates, time, everything, right? About the discounts as well. So you can contact them and you can get benefit from them. And guys, this is the discounted link. This is 3,000 rupees link. If interested, you can book up your seat here. Section sir,
Yes, sir.
अगर कुछ ऐड करना हो तो आप कर दो, मतलब अपने ट्रेनिंग से रिलेटेड, आईओटी से रिलेटेड, क्योंकि रैप अप करना है हमें.
Okay, sir. So, guys, basically, you guys may have been thinking what will the projects and all. So, I'm just gonna share some insight with you. So, we have covered this why IoT and all. Who uses IoT and all. Okay. So our mission is to prepare you for the careers in Internet of Things as an Internet of Things engineer in industrial IoT and data science and product development. The course description: embedded systems for IoT. Will be teaching you embedded systems for IoT, IP networking for connected systems, data analytics for IoT, and real world projects. The projects that is being used and that should be used and as per IoT systems. Okay. General requirement: there are no general requirement. We just want your dedication and all. As far as the program specific requirement, we want a text editor like a VS Code and Dino IDE to be installed in your laptop or system. Also Zoom. Okay, so these are the projects: tic-tac-toe game, temperature detection system, movement error system, internet-based surveillance system, Google Assistant-based home automation system, smart temperature control system, internet-based remote temperature humidity monitoring station. Okay, these are the skills you're gonna learn after the course: GitHub, Python, and product design, project design, utilizing package managers, Arduino, Node MCU, AWS. AWS and GCP are basically cloud-based programs. Will either go with AWS or either with GCP, okay, based upon the requirement over there. And data analytics. We will be also learning a Raspberry Pi. Okay, so these are some projects. So this is the first project, tic-tac-toe game. Second project, smart temperature monitoring station, and the Google-based home automation system. So this was basically a small overview of the training and how it will be done. So I guess that is it, Rohit sir. I'm done.
So hope guys hope you guys like that session, and we are eagerly waiting for your you guys join our 10 days summer training. If interested, everything is mentioned here. We are starting a new batch from 12th of May. You can see on your screen, and this is the discounted link. And for the full details, you can contact any one of our counselors. My name is Rohit, and there is Achal ma'am is here, Koshal ma'am is here, Priyanka is here, Gurvinder is here. You can contact any one of us, and we'll help you for getting admitted into any kind of any workshop or trainings we are conducting in coming future, right? And guys, do fill this form. This is a feedback form, and this is your certificate link as well. You can fill this form and you will get your certificates by next week, maximum by Monday or Tuesday. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.